Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crown Knowledge Radio. This is Jadon Rafia. Thank you for tuning in once again. Good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. Just coming on real quick to jump on. I'm always doing a quick energy check, but I really want to talk today about manifesting and some things that I've heard over the last week or so in just my own life. And again, you guys know I always give my personal perspective to whatever it is that's happening, whatever's going down on the timeline. I'm pretty much telling my story, telling how I see things going down right now, what's happening in the energy on the planet right now, what's happening in the universe, if that's even possible. However you're getting your download, you should be telling your story right now. If you have not listened to my recent posts on Substack, on Stage 32, and also on, I think I posted a link to it on Instagram, and I'm also on Patreon. So check out those recent posts. And if you want to check out archive shows, again, that is Spreaker.com. I don't think my energy is going to let me spell that correctly right now, but Spreaker.com, you guys have heard it before. I've spelled it before. So go over there, check out my archive shows over there to see if this is your flavor. I'm going to keep bringing you the events that are going down in my life currently. Again, you guys have heard it all before. It's not anything I haven't mentioned before. But not only that, I'm not the only one that is telling this particular type of story. Some in a different way. Some, are very similar, very familiar. Different things happening in certain individuals' life in this particular time right now. And I keep saying energy because... shout out to my friend Most Def. He kind of sparked something this morning. He said, it's still spiritual. Even though we are spiritual beings in this human vessel, doing things on a human level as spiritual beings. And that hit home for me. I don't think that anything else could explain or even begin to uncover what's happening otherwise. So if you are a targeted individual, you've been targeted, gang stalked, you've heard me talk about it before. If it resonates with you, if it does not, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are, number one, perpetrating this type of behavior. That's a whole nother, I haven't even begun really to dive even deep into the psyche of that. I have no idea what someone could be thinking to say that this is a great idea. This is a good idea. What we're going to do is we're going to sit down. We're actually going to sit down in I would assume, an actual meeting and recruit. We're going to come up with plans and drafts and charts and guidelines and handbooks and rules and regulations on how to destroy individuals for whatever the case may be. Because, again, my understanding is it could be a number of reasons. I see a lot more hits, a lot more people, looking at you guys aren't liking or sharing or anything, and that's okay, you're listening. And I do believe that the people that maybe need to hear this can, and if you know of individuals that could be experiencing this type of information, share. Or if you yourself are going through this type of information, share. Definitely tell your story. Or if you know individuals who inquire into. As a matter of fact, there's a young lady that I'm looking to contact very soon. a female who looks into this type of activity, behavior, programs, whatever you want to call it. But again, shout out to my friend Moz. He actually explained something this morning that I was kind of thinking of in the back of my mind, but at the same time, and you've probably maybe heard me mention it once or twice if you've listened to any of my shows, but some things happen for you when you think it's happening to you. And as much as I hate to admit it, I have gotten more positive out of what's happened over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years of being a targeted individual, and probably longer. Some people suggest that this has been happening since maybe I was a child. And some people are pretty much confirming that this type of behavior has been happening to them since they were a child. But what he's suggesting is that this type of thing happens to a lot of people. And you guys heard me kind of throw out a number that I was given from Substack, the information that I've seen over on Substack, the deep dives that they've done over there. This is sort of kind of the number. I think it's higher. I think it's more because of the energy shift that's happening on the planet. So more people that are in that type of mentality or going through that type of mental health crisis, that the only way they understand how to get anything is to destroy someone's life to get it. There are a lot more of those people popping up, so I would imagine there's a lot more I don't want to say victims, because I don't know if that's the right term. I do believe that it is something happened on a spiritual level. I think the physicality of it is pretty much moot. If it's for money, we get that, right? If it's for revenge, we get that, right? Jealousy, narcissism, envy, like I said, some type of vendetta, a high school thing, the male-female thing. You looked at my man, you looked at my woman, and he suggested that as well. He was targeted as a child, and it sort of followed him into his adulthood. And I could probably say that too, as a young adult. Up till now, these type of things tend to happen, and we brush it off as though it is happenstance. And you heard me mention this in the last post. Not everything is, that's just a coincidence. Don't be so quick to shake it off like, well, that just happened. Let me, and sometimes it's okay. I mean, it's good to do that, but don't always in the back of your mind, because if it happens once or twice, you'd be like, wow, that's funny. That just happened the other day. And then it happens a third time. You're like, wait a minute. What? So sometimes it's something spiritual. Number one, that's the warfare. But number two, it could be letting you know, hey, you need to adjust your frequency just a little bit, because now you're going into something that requires a little bit more, not just of your attention, but of your experience in this life as a spiritual being. So I just mentioned that we're spiritual beings going through this human stuff. So the human stuff to me is getting more and more ridiculous every day. And I was watching some of the React files and React videos, and they were saying people are bored because we keep seeing such crazy stuff on a human level. Most people, not all of them, because a lot of them it's something else that I'm going to mention here in just a little bit, but most people are just bored. You have run out of shit to do. You are bored. I don't have anything to do. All the clubs are boring now, unless you're just a club person. If you live in a town where there's not a lot of action, there's a lot of action in Miami and New York, and, shout out to Miami, New York, California, but it's dangerous now. It's gotten to a level where you could possibly, your literal life could be in danger on that level. I hope that gets through, you guys. And then there's the other stuff, the quote-unquote ritual of it all. the program of it all, the underlying organization of it all, those things that have probably been set in place for thousands of years, since the 1800s maybe, I don't know, at least early 1900s, right? There are certain organizations, programs, companies, I don't know, families that had majority control over most of what was going on the planet at that time. And they don't want to give up their seat. Their great, it may be great granddaddy still in the vault somewhere down in the bunker on some type of technology that we haven't seen yet, and he's still kicking at maybe 115, maybe 200 years old. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. just at the risk of me sounding even more crazy. Maybe, just maybe. I know that a lot of wealthy individuals feel like money can buy them more time on this planet. And some of them have tried and are trying right now to buy more time on this planet. So I stopped right there, and I'm going to go back to my friend's post earlier today that I was talking about. But I stopped for a minute and I had to say, okay, if you had, let's just say, all the money in the world, because somebody has all the money in the world, right? You got a little bit of it, but they got all the money in the world. So you have, money's no object. Money is not even a consideration. So it's got to be about something else. Power? Probably. Resources? That kind of goes under power. I think everything else goes under the umbrella of power. So I want so much power. Confirmation that I don't want anyone to be able to control me. But the problem is, even with all the money and the power, there is still something or someone or somebody or some energy that you have to answer to. And like I said, shout out to Mos Def if you are Denzo Moz. I'm sorry, Mos Def is somebody else. Shout out to Mos Def. Denzo Moz. If you haven't checked out his videos on YouTube, check them out. And I think that he really did hit on something so simplistic. And we've heard the saying before, some things don't happen to you, they happen for you. I believe that. And just based on that one little piece of information, it kind of, again, it took my energy in a lot of different directions at one time. And I'm like, wow. So there are actually individuals on the planet who know who you are. Let me just say they know what you are. Because we're kind of seeing right now what they are. It's no secret. They're pulling off masks and opening up curtains and files and doors and little cubby holes and secret rooms, and they're showing everything right now, right? It's all over the news, all over social media. It's not a secret. It's nothing that we really probably had an inkling about is being hidden anymore. They're opening up doors, crypts, they're moving stones, digging up time capsules. It's crazy. Like everything is like, it's just out there. Everything is being seen now. Masks are coming off. Things are being uncovered. Things are being opened up. People are, let me just say, they're vanishing based on some of the things that they want to kind of keep hidden, right? People are coming up missing. I'm really trying to tiptoe, but not really. I'm really trying to, provide the accurate information without making anybody get triggered. But there are strange happenings around individuals' lives that remain unexplained. And now the truth is coming out. Oh, okay. If you go over on Substack, you'll see, what happened to the young lady over there. A couple of individuals, but the most recent one was the young lady that she's no longer with us. Based on some information that she wanted to give to humans on the planet. She wanted humans to know on the planet, and for us spiritually to understand as spiritual beings, this is what is happening. This is what's coming, and this is what's happening. I think it's only right. Right is right, and wrong is wrong. And people say, please don't misunderstand that I have a soapbox of any kind over here. I don't. There are some of us who have our hands all the way in the cookie jar, and some of us can't even smell the cookies at a distance. Like the things that are being uncovered and unveiled now, the files that are being opened, doors that are being opened, things that are being heard that we've never heard before, things that are being seen that we've never seen before. It's being made public because it's time. On this planet, time means something just to humans. So they put it in a way where humans, and I keep saying humans because we really are spiritual beings. But I keep saying humans because humans think they're running out of time. Humans feel like there's no time left. Humans are concerned about time and the relevance to a frame of moments that are being uncovered that may end time for them. So time, in a human sense, could be running out for them. Them who, Dardana? Who are you talking about? Them who? Who is them? Who are they? Well, from my understanding and what I've heard, because I'm not going to do a deep dive in it because in a spiritual sense, it doesn't matter. Let me just make that clear. It doesn't matter who they are, who them is, with my really bad English, but y'all get what I'm talking about. It don't matter who them is, who they are. Like, it doesn't matter in a spiritual sense. In a human sense, you're going to feel like, oh, the quote-unquote doomsday clock is ticking. Well, it ticked 1,000 years ago. It ticked 2,000 years ago. It ticked 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 years ago. Confirmation. It's going to come around. What you need to understand is spiritually why you're here. What are you doing here spiritually? Because it's not going to... I'm going to bring it back to me real quick because I'm putting stuff out there like you all and y'all and what y'all have to do and everything. Let me come back to me because I always use myself because there's quite enough happening on a human sense in my life that I don't need to really use nobody else's life. I don't need nobody else's life to live mine. I don't need anybody's life to have anything else on this planet. I don't. My God provides everything. We have everything here that we need. The problem is someone wants to make you feel like you don't. They want you to be in distress. Someone even mentioned energy harvesting. They want you to be afraid and discombobulated and confused and always on fight or flight and stress mode and something's about to happen and you're going down and this is code red. This is not a drill. Like every time you wake up in the morning to set your foot on planet Earth as human. It's always going to be so. But the question is, there is nothing you can do about it anyway. They want to place on politics. I get it. Politics has a place in a human life. It does. If there are humans that are still out there and politics is that thing that you lay your hat on, you take your stand on, that's the hill you want to lay down on, great. That's your contract. That's what you came here for. My friend Denzo Moz suggested that those targeted individuals, such as myself, that are targeted, being placed on some type of mind control program, MK Ultra, I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there right now. I don't know what the program is. I don't know why it exists. I don't know what it's for. But it's happening to more than one person. As a matter of fact, a whole lot of more than one persons. Tons and tons of people, hundreds and hundreds of people. That this is happening at a level where it cannot be ignored. It can't be ignored. And he is suggesting or stating that this is your spiritual path. And again, if you have not listened to the post I just did on Dolores Cannon, she's suggesting the same thing. Pretty much. More so in a different way than my friend Moz. So this is what we came here for. Regardless of the clock, regardless of the wealth distribution, regardless of the power, regardless of where you sit on the spectrum as a human in this particular, I'll just say school or learning experience or whatever it is that you came here to do, it's going to manifest spiritually in your life. Let's just take the really weird and creepy stuff out of it, and that's a lot. It's that whittles it down to a very few. 144,000 sounds like it makes more sense if you do that. If you take away the weird and the ridiculous, the absolutely heinous and terrible, if you clear out the rotten, low down, grimy, evil, demonic, just the black magic of it all, the witchcraft. If we take all of that out, if we just move that somewhere else, that energy alone over by itself somewhere, what's left? Probably what you were called to do here spiritually. That resonated with me. That resonated with me because all of that other stuff that you just moved over to the side, that we scooted over there by itself, that's the stuff that feels like time is important. It's not that important. That's the part that feels like humanity is permanent. I was going to say something else, but I think that word is better for lack of a better phrase right now. That's the part of the flesh part of us that feels like, yeah, we could buy a certain product that we could take or smear on this human flesh, or we could ingest or something to make us last forever. That's not going to happen. That's not why you're here. Or we can do something, where all of this is going to last for, we've made certain underhanded deals that's going to assure that humans, in their own individual human sense, will always be forever. Well, now, let me just tweak that a little bit. It may not be humans the way we're looking at each other right now. It's going to be something else. Well, Darna, how do you know? Because I see the same thing y'all see. I'm not the only one looking at AI. I'm not the only one looking at the very questionable, I don't even know if I want to say shape-shifting. I don't know what it is. What do y'all think it is? Oh, this is all a play. It's all just, fun and games. That's paper mache. There's a 3D printed mask. Everybody can do that now, right? Everybody? Yeah. Everybody knows about the 3D printed mask. We know about the reptile of it all. We already know. That's not real. It's not real. Now this is for entertainment purposes only. It's not real. This is what we're doing here. We just, everybody wants us to believe that, somebody else is out there in the universe and they're coming here. Does anybody believe that? I'm not gonna say what I believe, but does it just if this is what you feel, if you feel like there's someone else out there, something else, another reason, and are you going to be around to see it? Some people say they've already seen it. A lot of people are saying no. I don't think I'm gonna be here to see it. Other people are like, no, that's never going to happen. If you don't know who Dr. Delbert Blair is, I suggest you look up. I wish I had the title of the video that this information was on, but he speaks about our waters on this planet before he passed away. Probably in 2005, I believe. I can't remember the year that he left the planet and transitioned. But he left some information about the waters, and this is just a side note. I'll get back to what I'm talking about in a minute. As a side note, he mentioned the waters on this planet. The waters, meaning, I guess, the oceans, the seas, lakes, ponds, I don't know. But he gave sort of an ominous last session. And when I say video, I mean video like VHS. These are some of the oldest. He probably made those videos in the 80s, I would say, somewhere around mid to early 80s, early to mid 80s. Some of them may have been late 80s, maybe. But if you can find those particular videos of Dr. Delbert Blair and what he says about the things that are in the waters of this planet that we know not of, still to this day. We hear several scientists and explorers that are on that side of things on this planet that say half of the waters, probably more than half of the waters on this planet, we don't know what's in it. Octopus alone just blows my mind. That is one of the, out of all of the creatures in the water, it looks otherworldly, whatever that means to you. Like, and they're intelligent creatures. Dolphins is another one, but octopus, and then they said there was a spaceship that kind of looked like an octopus that somebody saw somewhere. Okay, again, if you believe in that sort of thing, let me know. Leave a comment. Let everybody know what you think. But, so just that alone, if you are interested, Dr. Delbert Blair gave a speech, a talk about our waters and those things, and a lot of people are like, is the Kraken real? That's a good question. There are other explorers that have gone to depths, the depths that they could, places where, I guess, where no man has ever gone before, no pun intended, and said that they have gotten telepathic inklings of something that they couldn't describe. That's interesting to me. Anyway, so getting back to manifesting and your spiritual experience on this planet and why things are happening, and I always bring it back to my experience and what I'm going through, based on, because it is astronomical. It's unbelievable. I guess I hate to say that, because you got to believe it. In this sense, of a human sense, that it's actually happening. Hundreds of thousands of individuals can't make up the same story. That really would be something to study, at the very least. Let's study this. Why are hundreds of thousands of individuals saying, look, this is happening to me. I'm being followed. I'm being targeted. I'm being, my life is being vandalized. It's being sabotaged. I'm being blocked. There's certain things happening with, this is happening, that's happening. You can't really use surveillance anymore. Why? Because everybody is under surveillance. Everybody. I'm not saying anything that's groundbreaking here, that everybody, either within the sound of my voice and that's not within the sound of my voice, already know. Mr. Snowden is still not in the country based on his information about that. And now other individuals are, the same thing is seeming to happen to other individuals, either voluntarily or involuntarily. So your spiritual experience as a divine being, going through this human, in this human vessel, experiencing humanness as a spiritual being. Anybody understand that? You're a spiritual being, but you chose, and there's a big question mark after that, because this is what's being said. We chose to come here and do whatever it is you're doing right now. This is what you chose to do it. You made a conscious decision somewhere. And I've discussed this with a couple of friends. I don't have very many friends in my circle. So I've discussed this with individuals who could kind of go with me on the idea for a minute and just kind of develop their own reasoning, or not. Or they can agree to disagree, or just disagree that, nah, we're here for something else. Like what? Well, we're looking for love. A lot of people are looking for love. That's true. Most people are. I think that's what this is all about, maybe, right? Love. Everybody wants to be loved. Some people think acceptance is love. Some people think that, having children is love. Having sex is love. Some people feel like, the more friends you have, the more love you have in your life. The more, females you have for men, the more men you see for women. I don't know. Everybody's definition of love is different. What is it? Is it here on this planet? Or are we trying to manifest it now? Some people say, yeah, there's all types of love. There's all forms of love. You can, if you really want love, shout out to Baba Dick Gregory, before he passed away, he said the secret to love is being lovable. It was really that simple for him. He said, I knew I was in love when I found somebody lovable. I like it. I like it. I do. And that's going to resonate different for everybody. So what am I talking about today? I'm talking about manifestation and what we're doing on this planet as spiritual beings in a human vessel, what we call a human vessel. It's been called several things over several eons. But right now, for the sake of this particular post, I'm just going to say our spiritual spark inside of this human vessel is here for a reason. And if you are going through a targeting situation, gangs like these people they are relentless. They're like, ever since you were 5, 10, 12, 15, 25 years old, up until now, and you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you're still going through this similar, I hope not, but I mean, it's still like the same thing. You are bound for greatness if you just turn that switch and stop looking at things as happening to you more so than happening for you. Okay, well, that's easy for you to say. Well, no, really, it's not. These people are outside my home 24/7, 365 as we speak. For what? I have no idea. I really don't. And even, I think I've heard somebody post that, the reasoning why you want to know why are they there? Why are they doing this? Why? I even stopped asking the question. I mean, I might laugh and, I'll be in the house and be like, you're out here just bumping your music at random. I can hear you. Like, I get it. What for? What exactly is this supposed to do? I don't understand. So that kind of thing, but you will see that and a whole lot more. You'll hear that and a whole lot more. But if you are really, really a targeted individual, you're really a targeted individual, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's just the easy side of it. Someone somewhere has sworn a statement, possibly on a contract, and was assigned your life to destroy. That's weird as a human. So what do you do about it as a human? Well, then that's where my friend Moz was saying you need to tap into your divine energy. There are things that they can't possibly know, and there are things that you can't possibly be aware of right now until you start to tap into that energy. Right now, they could possibly know where you live, where you shop, what you're going to eat, because you have a pattern in your human life. Who you talk to, they'll try to sabotage, destroy that. Where you going, what you're going to wear, where your appointments are, especially if you're talking to somebody on the phone. Because all your devices are hacked. They know where you're going, they know what you're saying, they know who you're talking to, they know what time you're going to get there. They're going to have the whole Truman Show set up when you get there. So these are the things that we already know. We already know that. But there are the things that are, quote unquote, hidden. Well, hidden from who? They're not hidden from you for your own safety, and hidden from them for the exact same reason. They're so hidden, in fact, there's no way I would be able to tell you on any post. But they do understand some things in the human sense that's going to work for them, but they know that there are most things in the spiritual sense that's not going to work for them, depending on what your assignment is here. So that's what you have to figure out. If you want to look up, it's Denzo Moz, I believe, is the YouTube that where he's speaking about that. And I did tell you guys about Dolores Cannon and her 3 hours of pure wisdom. Trust me, you want to hear that. My phone is going off because my fans are outside. But if you want to hear her 3 hours of pure wisdom, I suggest it. I really do. It will put a whole new, it will give you a whole new perspective, especially as a targeted individual, especially as someone who is being gang stalked. Someone suggested, you don't look like or act like what you're going through. Well, that's part of their program, not mine. That's part of their scenario, not mine. They check in regularly to see, what does she look like? Does she look like she's about to break? What does she sound like? Does she sound like she's depressed? What is she doing? Is she dancing and singing like she used to, or does she look like she's about to break? So that's all part of the program. How I feel or what I'm feeling or even what I'm thinking is null and void as far as that's concerned. But that's part of that's a big part of their program. They have to see that all this hard work they're putting into destroying your life is paying off for them. They have to see it. I got to see it. That's why they send people to my home all day, every day, 24 hours a day, and some of them never leave. As a matter of fact, a lot of them moved right into the neighborhood. If you think that sounds weird, go over there on Substack and talk to those individuals, and they'll tell you something that sounds way more weird than that. But yeah, they're right here now they've switched out some people. People are slowly moving out, and other people are easing into the neighborhood, and you'll see, individuals around you that you haven't seen before, and the old crew is being switched out with this new crew, and so you'll see different people, different cars, different vehicles, personality. You'll see different things going down. And then one of my old watchers showed up yesterday on the sidewalk. I hadn't seen him in a while. He showed up on the sidewalk with his dog. So they have to be in close proximity to me to use devices. They have to be in close proximity so that when I move, they move. When I'm out, they're out. When I go somewhere, they're already there. So that's how, and again, I did a post probably a few months back that told you they're studying you. You may as well study them too. It's going to help you. The spiritual stuff, I suggest you spiritually, the best thing you could do is look at self. Now, I know I'm like studying them for what, Dardana? What do we study them for what? It's going to really have you get to know yourself a little bit better so that you can do things a little differently. You can move a little differently. You can even act a little differently. Does that work? Absolutely. You can act a little differently. You can move a little differently. And as he was saying, you know, that's not stuff you want to, what I've told in the last post that I've done over the past couple of years since I've started speaking about being targeted. I've actually been targeted for a while, a long time, but I just started speaking about it recently over the past few years. And there's still nothing that I could tell these individuals that would make them be able to do anything to destroy me. They could take the roof over my head. They could take the money out of my bank account. They can, I believe family members already have been infiltrated and worse. And worse. But for whatever reason, the Most High God has placed his hand upon me specifically for these individuals. And there's no way for them to know why. And for that part, me either. So I think it's divine brilliance. I do. I think it's divine intelligence at its best. I think that the Most High has put his hand on my life for a lot of different reasons. There are things that I am grateful that did not work out for me. I am absolutely grateful for a lot. Maybe not all of it. You know, there's some things it's like, you know, I would have liked to seen how that turned out. But most of the things that were really raggedy in my life, I'm so glad that just Spirit seemed fit to just be like, girl, this is not your path, and let me show you why. So those things, just to end things on a high note, those are the things that will make you smile, even in the midst of this horrific behavior. You have to celebrate those things that just, when you get that aha moment, celebrate that. Those are the things that you're going to remember on the spiritual side. Those are the things that's going to bring light to you. Not sure why someone will want a demonic contract when they come here, but those are your targeters. Those are your gang stalkers. They had a demonic contract. They came here to do exactly what they're doing for whatever end it will bring for them. But for you, celebrate those spiritual judgments that are in your favor, and most of them will be in your favor. When something is taken away from you, celebrate that. When you're stopped or blocked from doing something, and you see down the road, you get to, the gift is being able to see the karma. And I've been gifted. The Most High has been in his infinite wisdom, has seen fit to say, you know what, I'm going to take this from you, and then I'm going to show you why. I love it. Because you feel bad at first, and then you're like, oh, now I get it. Your light bulb will eventually come on, and you'll be like, oh, that's why I couldn't do that. That's why they took that. That's why they made it so hard for me to be there. That's why they made it so difficult on that job. Oh, this is why that car broke down. Oh, that's why you took so-and-so away. This is why I can't be around such and such anymore. Now I get it. Thank you for tuning in with me today. This is Dordana. Please come back for more Crown Knowledge Radio. Spreaker.com, Patreon, Substack, Stage 32, and Instagram. I'm getting there, you guys. I'm going to keep doing that just for you and for the love of the planet. I miss my music. I got to get my music back, you guys. But thank you so much for even viewing. I see the views, the many, many, many views across the platforms that individuals are. I don't do this for money. Let me just make that clear. And I just mentioned that again somewhere else. If I happen to get something that starts to monetize somewhere, great. But this particular moment in time, and I don't know how it's going to last for however it lasts, I'm not doing it for the money. There's no way. I'm being shadow banned in most places. So I cannot possibly be doing it for the money. I do it for the love of the planet and the love of the beautiful high vibrational energy of the Crown Knowledge family. Thank you so much, and we'll see each other again, or we'll talk to each other again real soon. Peace.